Okay, morning, Joey. How are you?
Morning.
Let's get cracking then with just team news. How's the squad looking for tomorrow? Josh Grant had to go off, didn't he, in the first half on Saturday?
Yeah, we're the same things. We've got a few bodies creaking. So, yeah, the disruption didn't help Saturday. I spoke to the guys, and whilst it's very, very noble and very, very brave to keep plugging on and playing, maybe not at 100% fitness, we can't. We've got lads who are fit and ready to go, albeit, they haven't been maybe up to speed in terms of match performance and match minutes. But I think the situation we're in, we can't afford to have anybody at substandard physical levels. It's just not. We can't have any passengers at this level. And unfortunately, if you're not 100% fit or 95% fit, once you cross that white line, you're fit as a player. I've had that responsibility myself. Nobody cares what you've got taped up or what's causing you the problem. You're in the midst of battle, and if you do have an issue, it will be exposed over the course of a 90-minute League One game. So whilst it's, as I say, very, very noble, we're fighting for our lives, and in that fight we need everybody fit and ready to perform at maximum levels. So a few guys are not quite there, and as I say, we're going to have to make some difficult choices in terms of playing players who are fully fit or certainly as close to it, because the club's League One status is at stake here.
And does that apply to Brandon Hanlon, who I know you rate very highly?
Yeah, and I again, we've got to be careful, because you can cause these lads some long-term damage, and I get everybody wants all different type of names on the pitch, who you speak to, but we need to select those guys who are organised, fit, and ready to execute under pressure. We lose the first goal in a key encounter because we've got a player coming off the pitch who's tried to play through an injury, and the player coming on the pitch who didn't have his equipment ready to go when called upon, because he wasn't obviously expecting a sub to be made at that level. And that is a common theme that's running throughout the club. There's just that level of malaise, just that complacency that creeps into your culture when your culture's not performing at the level. That's what we're here to change, and that's what we will change it in the time here, because if you want to be an elite high performance culture, you have to behave and have the daily habits of that long before the results start to come and vindicate it.
Is that something that takes a long term? Because I guess you're mindful there's only 14 games of this season left to play.
Look, I've signed for 2.5 years, so hell and high water, I'm here, and I'm going to turn this around, because that's what we do, and I will not rest until it is resolved. So it takes what it takes. We want it to happen as fast as possible. And that's the if it happens next week, great. If it takes 6 months, then it takes 6 months. But at the end of the day, we can only go as fast as we can go. There's obviously ways you can accelerate that process. They aren't open to us at the moment. Transfer window being open, pre-season being open, they aren't an option at this moment in time. So I am a solutions man. I'm here to find solutions based on the tools we have at our disposal, and it's my job to get people very, very quickly up to speed. If they can go with that, fantastic. They're going to have a very productive time here and they'll really enjoy it. If they can't, then unfortunately this isn't a charity. We're not here to have lots of passengers, and people will start to very, very quickly understand what's expected of them at Bristol Rovers.
Yeah, one of the positives on Saturday was the subs you brought on. Are they knocking on the door to start tomorrow night? Yeah,
for sure. I think there was some positives in the game. It wasn't all doom and gloom. The result wasn't great, and that's what we're there for, and ultimately judged off the back of. But in the midst of that, you have to look for positive signs and positive moments, and there was plenty of that to work on. But we've got to get better, because key incidents are costing us in vital moments. And in my short time here, the 4 games, there's been a reoccurring theme, and unfortunately, that seems like it's been going on for a period of time before I got here. I've got, as I say, no control over what happened before I got here, but it's my responsibility as manager, and I believe leadership cascades down through the pyramid to make the players quickly understand that high standards are a choice, and you either decide to get on them and get on the programme, or you don't, and you won't last long here.
Time is short, so I've got 2 more questions. Just first of all, it's only 4 games you've been at the club, but how well now do you think you know your squad of players, both on the pitch and off it?
I'm learning every day, that's the key. Getting a bit more visibility and getting a bit more context about who they are, what they're here for, what the purpose is. Some of those guys I agree with it and they're great and they're going to be fine. Some of those guys I don't agree with it, but it's my job as a coach to show them a different way. You know, I spoke to the Lord yesterday in the garden, and he, you know, I was blaming things from Saturday and why couldn't this be better and why can't that be better. And you know, when he spoke to me, he said, "Look, you've got to find a solution. You've got to find a way out of this. It's not going to be easy. You knew that coming to the club, it wasn't going to be easy. If it was, I wouldn't be here. If everybody could do it, I also wouldn't be that good at what I do. So it's a very, very tough challenge, but it's a challenge that I'm looking forward to. And as I say, I'm absolutely convinced we'll get where we need to get to. We've just got to follow the process. It's common sense in many ways. There's nothing, you know, it's not rocket science. It's trying to get a football team winning and trying to get a group functioning correctly to understand the benefits of playing from a place of great teamship and real ownership of that teamship. But also, you know, common sense is not always common practice. And luckily for me, you know, I don't have to go and work a job like my dad would have as a roofer, or my granddad did in an abattoir, because I get an opportunity, thankfully, to do it, you know, coaching guys to play football, teaching them to be better, teaching them not to make the mistakes that I made in my career, and that can add value to them as self-employed businesses, and because that's what they are. And they've got to realise that, and if you wouldn't sabotage your own business, you know, so why do you do some of the things that you do to yourself as a professional footballer? Again, common sense, but very seldom is a common practice, certainly in my industry.
And it was before your time, but it was only 5 weeks ago that Accrington beat Rovers 6-1. Will that have any bearing on the return game at the Men?
It won't on me. You'd have to ask the players that. For me, if that had happened to me as a player, I'd certainly be wounded and I'd be wanting to put that right. We get an opportunity in our stadium Tuesday night to put that right. But it'll be a different side with a different intensity, with different people in the building and different standards of behaviour. So, look, it was a disappointing one, but as I say, we only lost 3 points in that game, and we have an opportunity to get those 3 points back in the game Tuesday night, and we'll be exhausting all avenues to make sure that they right that wrong.